$5 trillion pumped into the economy. A lot of money was printed. We're able to do that as the U.S. global power. People take our debt. There's some, me not understanding how everything fits together. It's a little concerning when you see the potential threat to the petrodollar. A lot of realignment globally with Russia and China and OPEC and BRICS. There's been, rumors of a PetroYuan, right, in the Middle East trading. China did a multi-billion-dollar JV with Saudi Aramco in March of this year to, for 2 refinery deals. Basically, oil will be sold in the yuan, in the PetroYuan to China from the Middle East, and then you have obviously Russia has a strong alliance and wants to do all their trade in the yuan. If you're holding all the debt and everyone values the debt, okay, now as soon as it becomes less valuable, that's going to lead to more inflation, and that puts the U.S. in a precarious position. No, I mean, your comments on that, and again, let's dial it back to impact on oil and gas.
Well, the first and foremost thing to remember is that the U.S. dollar and crude oil prices do have a very strong correlation. So they're generally polar opposite. Dollar rises, oil goes down, dollar goes down, oil goes up. There are periods of times where they're crossing over or those lines are meshed together. We're currently in that period where they're meshed together. They're not truly polar opposite in direction based on response. So the dollar rose to 115, right? Oil prices got dicey around $66, $67 a barrel. Dollars at 102 and some change today. Oil prices are down to $70.94. So there is that polar opposite pool. But the reality of it is the dollar is not a strong dollar. The dollar just happens to be the strongest of fiat currencies because we're the most reliable country that pays our debt. I'm not worried about the petrodollar changing, and here's why. It's like needing to borrow money. I need $100,000 because I want to buy a house. And so I go to the bank, they say no. I go to the next person, they say no. I go to the traditional conventional lenders, they say no. Then I go around the corner, I talk to this guy in the back guy. He says, yeah, we're going to give you $100,000, but we need your birth certificates for your kids, all your money. And you got to know we're going to kill you if you don't pay us back. Well, that's what's happening to Brazil and all these other countries who are now agreeing to trade in the yuan, agreeing to do business with Russia and the ruble. They're all saying we're only doing business there because as individual countries, they're broke. They're dead broke. They're third world countries. They're starving to death. Their economies suck. The reason why you have a southern border with 5 million people a month coming across, because everybody in the world says there's only one place to go for economic success, and that's the U.S. And so what we have is we have 2 gangsters out there in China and Russia being played in between OPEC and Saudi Arabia. It's all, in my view, it's all a conspiracy. They're all working together. Why? Everybody wants the U.S. economy to fail. The problem they have is you can't beat us. You're going to wound us, and we've got some bad political guidance right now, but you're not going to beat us because why? At the end of the day, it's all about buying the dollar. And the reason why the dollar has been so strong is everybody said the dollar is the best fiat currency of all the currencies in the world, better than our own. And because the U.S. is such a strong global economic powerhouse, everybody has to have dollars to be able to do business with the U.S. So if you want to go kill the chicken laying all the eggs, which is the U.S. economy, all their economies die as well. So this is nothing more than the fact we have bad leadership in the White House. If we had a strong leader in the White House, the dollar would not be as strong. It doesn't help us to be strong. But what would happen is we'd have better geopolitical presence in the world, and Brazil and these other countries wouldn't be thinking about the yuan. They wouldn't be asking for China support. But we have so let our allies down and our trading partners down. They decided, well, if you're not going to back us, we got to survive. We're going to go to the next possible party that's going to give us cash. They're going to the mafia in the back alley because they say that's a better trading partner, right? That's not a likely cycle. If you look at what China did 2 years ago in the nickel market, where one of the biggest traders bet against the nickel market and he lost like $20 billion, and China didn't like the outcome. So all these traders made tons of money by shorting the nickel market. And instead of letting the market play out, they decided to save their trader in China. And they completely wiped out those trades for 3 or 4 days, about $20 billion in successful trades by the traders who shorted that market. So anybody with half a brain would look at China and say, you can never invest with China because China will never play by the rules. And it's always about China, regardless of the ethics or the integrity. Hell, Russia's over there with an illegal war, killing people by the minute. You think I'm going to go borrow money from them? So you've got two big powerhouses trying to change the globe. Unless everybody in the world wants to be a communist, unless everybody in the world wants to be put to concentration camps or out in penal colonies out in the middle of Siberia, the dollar is the strongest dollar because we're the strongest country and the strongest place of freedom in the world.